Hi everyone, welcome to the beginning of this new series in The Sims 4 and welcome to my channel if this is your first time here. I'm Mojam, but my real name is Manu. I'm French, which would explain the accent, and on my channel I mostly make content on The Sims, such as Let's Plays and speed builds in The Sims 2, 3 and 4, and today I'm bringing back two Sims that I had created back when Eco Lifestyle came out. And I had planned to explore that expansion pack with them, but I quickly realized as I was playing with them that I just wanted to play the game with them and not just focus on one expansion pack at a time. So I stopped that series. I kind of deleted actually the entire thing that I had done with them, so we're basically starting from scratch with them, but in some ways they're also starting from scratch because they used to live in Grimm's Quarry, but today it's their very first day here in Conversation in this house, which is actually a house that I have built as well when Eco Lifestyle came out, and this is a house that only uses items from Eco Lifestyle and the base game. So if you have any other packs than Eco Lifestyle, you can easily install this house in your game without having any items missing. I also built the house that they used to live in Grimm's Quarry, and I will leave a link to that speed build as well in the description. I tell a little bit more about their backstory, but don't worry, we'll get into that as we go along in this series. Now, you might realize rather quickly that this Let's Play is going to be a little bit different than my other series in The Sims in general, or on my channel in general, because I basically just recorded myself playing with these guys and now I'm just making a voiceover. It's something that I wanted to do for quite some time. I just wanted to try that out because every time I record a series, I feel like I'm always missing some aspects of the game, some elements that I want to talk about, but I just don't think about those things in the moment, and I'm especially doing that in The Sims 4. So I just decided to play just for an hour on my own with these two Sims, just setting up the story, setting up their skills, setting up everything that I wanted to do with them in this series. And now, as you can see, I'm actually making a voiceover and telling you a bit more about them, and hopefully I'm not going to be missing anything that I would like to tell you guys about. Anyway, let me introduce you a little bit more to Morgan and Abigail. As you can see right now, Abigail is voting on a neighborhood action plan. She's voting for the Green Gardening Neighborhood Action Plan. And this is something that is very important about Abigail, is that she's a very good Sim and she's always thinking for everyone else. And by that I mean that her grandfather, he wants to be a freelance botanist. He's going to have a garden and she wants for him to be happy doing what he loves. That's why she's voting for the Green Gardening Neighborhood Action Plan, because she wants for this neighborhood action plan to be encouraged so that her grandfather, who's been feeling kind of depressed for the past few years, can actually be happy again doing what he likes and be encouraged doing what he likes actually. Abigail, as you can see, she has the Eco-Innovator aspiration. I might actually switch that aspiration eventually because this aspiration will require her to go into the civil designer career, and even though I think this is a dream of hers to become a civil designer, Abigail will need, I think, to go to university to be able to enter that career, because I think it's quite a difficult and technical career, and you need to have a bit more knowledge than, well, no skills at all, like you have when you start a new save in The Sims, to be able to enter that career. So I might switch her aspiration for the Master Maker one eventually, because Abigail has also the maker trait. She really enjoys making things. She actually inherited this trait from her grandfather, Morgan, who also has this trait. She really likes especially making candles. She finds this really rewarding to craft new items for the house and repair the house and improve on the house and all of the appliances, all of the electronics that we have in the house. She's really happy about that. And something that she really would like to do is improve the house to help the environment, because she's also a green fiend, which goes along with her Eco-Innovator aspiration. She really wants to improve on the environment. She wants to help her neighborhood and the world around her to be as green and as healthy as possible. And by voting for the Green Gardening Neighborhood Action Plan, she's also going to help her neighborhood getting greener, which is great. And also, like I said, it's going to help her grandfather, who really wants to become a freelance botanist. Now, Morgan, he lost his job years and years ago. He used to work at the train station. here in Conifer Station actually, but then when the train station shut down, he lost his job. And back then he was considered too old to start from scratch in a new career, so he didn't find anything else. And that led him to kind of reject consumerism, and that's why I gave him the friggin' trait. He doesn't want to find a job anymore, he doesn't want to work for anyone anymore, and he actually would like to live off the land and live off the grid, not have to pay anything to anyone, not pay bills, not be connected to anything that requires you to be thankful in a way to any other services. He just doesn't want to be connected to anything. He wants to live for himself and for his family because he's also very family oriented. He loves his granddaughter, and he had quite a difficult life, let's say, because Morgan, he struggled with his wife Helen to build up their house in Grimm's Quarry. They found this really nice family suburban house. They repaired everything in the house. They really struggled to have a baby, and in their late 30s, they finally managed to have a baby boy who they named Bryce. They were so happy together, but they were still struggling with the money because the train station wasn't paying Morgan really well. Soon after that, he actually lost his job. And then Helen, she had just a part-time job. She was really struggling to find something new to do. Anyway, it was really, really difficult for the family, but they were happy because they were together. They were struggling together in a way. And Bryce, he wanted to go to university to study computer science, but it was way too expensive for the family to afford university. So Bryce enrolled in the military. He became a military man, a soldier. During his training, he met Abigail's mom, Dahlia, and they rather quickly actually got married, but with the military and all of the danger that revolves around this career, they knew that they had to embrace life. They had to enjoy every single moment of life the best they could. And rather quickly as well, they discovered that they were expecting a baby. And at that time, Dahlia had moved in the house because her family, they weren't really okay with her getting married and getting pregnant so soon. So they kind of rejected her. Morgan and Helen, they were just so happy to see their son happy and to have a new family member that they welcomed her with open arms. And Bryce, just a couple months before Abigail was born, he was called for a mission in Strangerville. And he left one morning thinking that he would come back before his little girl was born, but he just never did. And now it's 20 years later. Bryce isn't here. No one knows where he is actually. He just vanished into thin air. Morgan tried to find him in every way possible. He looked everywhere. He called every single military center to know what was going on. Where was his son? But he never found any information. And as for Dahlia, Abigail's mom, she sadly passed away a couple months after Abigail was born. Basically, Abigail was raised by her grandfather and her grandmother. That's why Abigail, she would do anything for Morgan. And Morgan, he did everything he could to make his family happy, to allow his granddaughter to have the best life possible. And he actually was quite depressed because he felt like he had failed. But Abigail, she doesn't think that, she's just so happy to be with him. And she's actually the one who found this house here in Conifer Station. She's the one who furnished it. She took a few furniture that they had in their previous house that I think were furniture that Morgan has crafted over the years. And she just made this house a home for them. And she's trying to improve on their lifestyle, she's trying to help them build new memories in this house, basically. So Morgan, he's going to be growing a garden here in this house. He does have a few garden planters. He's also going to be quite handy. I'm going to have him work on the woodworking station. This part, basically, I have just, like I said, been setting up the series with the neighborhood action plan. We've actually been struggling to get the green gardening neighborhood action plan because Abigail, she got rejected a couple times, as you saw yesterday when she was at the board in the neighborhood to try and convince people to vote for this. Morgan also failed a couple times. They're really, really struggling with that. But Abigail, she doesn't give up easily, actually. She never gives up easily. She always fights for what she wants, and she always makes sure that she gets what she wants, but in a nice way, She's not going to walk all over everyone to get what she wants. She's always trying to be doing the best thing, the good thing, After all, she's a good sim. Here, like, for example, I'm going to have her try to convince Yasmin to vote for the Green Neighborhood Action Plan, and she's going to fail again, which was definitely very frustrating, but it kind of goes with their story, you know? They're always trying really hard, but they're struggling, you know? This family is struggling really, really hard. But they were also trying to meet some of their new neighbors around the Conifer Station neighborhood, because, once again, they've just moved in. Abigail also, I forgot to mention, she does have a part-time job for the summer, because it's summer right now. She's going to be working in the fast food employee career. She's going to be a fast food employee, and that's a job that she found just for the summer. Something that she'd like to do for the rest of the year, though, is to become a freelance crafter. So she will be working on her fabrication skill, especially trying making candles, because that's something that she really likes, and her grandfather actually bought her this really nice candle making station for her to craft some new candles. She's also going to be knitting. Eventually in the part I'm going to get her a basket, you know, to start knitting. And I think she's going to be making some money through Plopsy. She's going to be making money this way. And I think at the end of summer, I'm just going to have her quit her job. I mean, after all, I think her contract would be over or something, so she would lose her job anyway. I would like for her to then go into the freelance crafter career. And we'll have to vote for the maker space here in the community center, because, or the community space, I think it's called. Because right now it's just this poor little place with a bunch of trash everywhere. We didn't have enough community points or influence points to be able to vote for this community center space. I never really know how to call this place anyway. We didn't have enough points to vote here, but hopefully next week we'll have enough points. So here, as you can see, I'm trying to use as many of the points that we had to vote for the Green Gardening Neighborhood Action Plan, because I really want for them to be able to get this one. So then I'm going to have Abigail gather some soybeans and some soy wax to be able to start working on her fabrication skill and have her craft some candles. She was, of course, feeling very embarrassed to be messing up so many times to convince people to vote for the Green Gardening Neighborhood Action Plan. It was really sad, actually. I was feeling really upset for her. As for Morgan, alongside handiness and gardening, he also really enjoys juice fizzing. He is going to be using a little bit of his garden and plants and fruits and flowers to make some juice fizzing and to maybe sell some of that juice fizzing, although he's not going to be the one doing that. Abigail is, because as a freegan, if Morgan earns money from even the selling table, which I think is kind of sad, especially also with the freelance careers, I think the freegan sims shouldn't be feeling anything about these careers, you know. They're basically freelancers, so they don't have a job, you know, a boss or anything, but they're still feeling very uncomfortable because they're working apparently for the big companies or something. I don't know, it's really, really strange. But even by selling stuff on the vending tables, they are also getting some annoying buffs. So Abigail is going to be the one selling stuff on the table, which I'm actually buying now. And as you saw, I also just bought the knitting basket, which I think Abigail is going to be playing around with. And I was actually thinking that it was Abigail's grandmother who taught her how to knit. She just taught her, though, the very, very basics years ago, and Abigail kind of forgot, which is why she needs to get back to learning this skill again. But I'd like to imagine that Helen, her grandmother, helped her learn a little bit more about knitting and how to make some sweaters and some beanies and stuff. I think that's really, really cute to imagine. Alright, so she's made a couple of candles. She is going to be planting some soybeans here in her bedroom. I really like her bedroom, by the way. She's in this attic bedroom, which I think is really, really nice. It's really cozy. And this house wasn't supposed to have 2 bedrooms. The house was supposed to have only 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. But Abigail, she furnished the attic because she knew that this was the only house they could afford. So she made sure that they had, each of them, their own space, their own private rooms, basically. And she took the attic because she knew that her grandfather, it would be difficult for him eventually to climb up the ladder, of course. So he has the real bedroom in a way, and she has the attic, which I think is really cute. Here I was having Morgan continue working on his Woodworking skill. He has been working on some lifestyles. I still have yet to discover which lifestyle he's been working on. And as you saw, even though we really struggled to get the green gardening neighborhood action plan in action, we managed to have it work eventually, which I was so happy about. And that's pretty much where I'm going to end this first part, actually. We finally get the green gardening neighborhood action plan. We'll see next week what we'll be voting for. I think I will have Abigail try to vote for, the 2 neighborhood action plans that will improve on the neighborhood. I never really remember these names for these 2 naps, but that's fine, it's not too problematic. But yeah, I'm so excited for this series. I'm really curious to know what you guys think about this new way of doing Let's Plays for me. I've actually really enjoyed doing that. It's quite unsettling at first because I've never done this before in a series, just making a voiceover over some gameplay. But yeah, let me know what you think, and let me know if you would like for me to do something special with these 2 Sims, if you have some ideas in mind of what they could do in their lives. Just let me know in the comments what you think. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye everyone!